Happy morning, students. Welcome to Blue Stars Higher Secondary School English online class. So, today we are going to learn the fifth unit supplementary All Summer in a Day by Ray Bradbury. So, this lesson is a scientific fiction about the life on the planet Venus. The children are very anxious to see the sun. It has been raining for 7 years non-stop. The children are reading about the sun. All of them are at the age of 9. They have seen the sun when they are 2 years old. It means that the sun rises there once for 7 years. The long awaited sun comes out. The children enjoy the one-day summer in the forest of Venus. Once again, the rain starts. They go to their underground hall. So, this lesson is about a science fiction. So, students, can you imagine a day without the sun? No, we cannot imagine a day without the sun. So before going to the lesson, we can see about the author Ray Bradbury. Ray Douglas Bradbury was an American author and screenwriter. So he was an American author and screenwriter. One of the most celebrated 20th and 21st century American writers, he worked in a variety of genres including fantasy, science fiction, horror, and mystery fiction. So he worked in a variety of genres including fantasy means imagination stories, then science fiction stories, then horror and mystery fiction. He was born on 22nd August 1920, Waukegan, Illinois in United States, and he died on 5th June 2012, Los Angeles, California, United States. His movies were Fahrenheit 451, Moby Dick, It Came from Outer Space, and more. Awards he received awards, that is Medal of Distinguished Contribution to American Letters. His TV shows were the Ray Bradbury Theatre, The Halloween 3. So this is the life history of the author Ray Bradbury. So Ray Bradbury, he was an American author and screenwriter, and he worked in a variety of genres including fantasy, science fiction, horror, and mystery fiction. And he was born on 22nd August 1920, Waukegan, Illinois in United States. And he died on 5th June 2012 in United States. And his movies were Fahrenheit 451, Moby Dick, It Came from Outer Space. And he received awards, that is Medal of Distinguished Contribution to American Letters. And his TV shows the Ray Bradbury Theatre and the Halloween Tree. So now let us move to the story. So this is a science fiction story. Just I'll explain by using the images. So by seeing the images, you can easily understand the lesson. Then we can see the characters. Here the characters are Margaret, William, and class teachers. So only three characters are there. Margaret, she is the girl. She is a 9-year-old girl, and William and class teacher. So the setting, where is the setting? The future Venus schoolroom rains for 7 years, sun for 1 to 2 hours. So what is the theme here? What's the theme of the lesson? Tolerance and sensitivity is needed. So we should need tolerance and sensitivity. A group can become a mob and not act according to beliefs. So what is a conflict? Man versus society, man versus nature. And here Margaret is bullied and teased for being different because she came from Venus, Earth. So she teased for being different. She remembers the sun and they hate her for it. So what was the climax? The class locks Margaret in a closet and play in the sunshine for an hour before realizing what they have done. So what is the resolution? What is my resolution? So the new year comes, we will tell no, this year I am going to take a resolution that I will not get angry, that I will be a good girl or good boy. So likewise in this story, the children took resolution. The children let Margaret out and feel guilty for what they have done. So this is the characters, setting, theme, conflict, climax and resolution. So I hope you understood. So now let us move to the story. Then the quotation, life should be touched, not strangled. You have got to relax, let it happen at times. So it was said by Ray Bradbury. That is, life should be touched, not strangled. You have got to relax, let it happen at times. So this is the story. The story All Summer in a Day is set on the planet Venus. So Venus is a rainy planet and the sun comes out for an hour in every 7 years. So listen students, Venus is a rainy planet and the sun comes out for an hour in every 7 years. So the story centers around a group of 9-year-old school children who are living on Venus. So this story centers around a group of 9-year-old school children who are living on Venus. So Margaret, she is Margaret, a 9-year-old girl, she came from Earth to the planet Venus when she was 4 years old. So she is a 9-year-old girl and she came from Earth to the planet Venus when she was 4 years old. So she had only been on Venus for 5 years. So she remembered the warmth and brightness of the sun. So she had only been on Venus for 5 years. So she remembered the warmth and brightness of the sun. So the other children were angry because Margaret had seen the sun and they hadn't. So usually the other children were angry because Margaret had seen the sun and they had not. Their jealousy made them to lock Margaret in a closet on the one sunny day. So the students, so the children, what they have done, their jealousy made them to lock Margaret in a closet on the one sunny day. The children admire the warmth of the sun. The children admire the warmth of the sun and they put their hands up to that yellowness and looked at everything. They put their hands up to that yellowness and looked at everything. So when it started raining again, they realized that they had locked up Margaret in closet. So again, it's when it started raining, they realized that they had locked up Margaret in closet. So the children regretted their guilt and they unlocked the door and let Margaret out. So now the children, they regretted their guilt, they unlocked the door and let Margaret out. So this is the story All Summer in a Day. And what are the characters? Margaret, William and the class teacher. So listen students, again I will tell you, in the planet Venus, the sun comes out only for one day. So this is the Venus planet and the sun only comes out for one day every 7 years. So it has been raining there for many years. The children had seen the sun 7 years ago when they were 2 years old. All are eager to see the sun as the scientists predict that the sun will shine for a short while on that particular day. So Margaret, she is a 9 years old student in the planet Venus. Unlike the other children, she has arrived from the earth recently. So she remembers many things about the sun. Margaret desperately misses the sun. She wants to go back to earth. So she does not get along with the other children. So the children bully Margaret as they are envious of her knowledge and memory of the sun. They are angered by her description of the sun. They push Margaret into a closet and lock her inside. So when the sun comes out, the children are ecstatic. They squint at the sun. They remove the jackets to feel the rays upon their arms. They run among the trees. They slip and fall. They push each other and they play hide and seek and tag. So when the sun vanishes and the rain starts, they thought of Margaret. They feel that they have done something wrong to Margaret. So they realize her at last. So this is the story. Now we can move to the glossary. Weeds. What is in by weeds? Unwanted wild plants. Weeds means unwanted wild plants. Peering, looking. Peering means looking. Concussion, confusion for a short time. Concussion means confusion for a short time. Tidal waves, large ocean waves. Tidal waves means large ocean waves. Slackening, gradually slowing down. Slackening, gradually slowing down. Show, rough push. Show means rough push. Ohio, a mid-western state of the US. So it is a mid-western state of the US. Patterning, regular. Patterning, regular. Clutch, hold tightly. Clutch means hold tightly. Savagely, aggressively. Savagely, aggressively. Whispered, spoke in a very quiet and low voice. Whispered, spoke in a very quiet and low voice. Predict, anticipate. Predict, anticipate. Surged, moved suddenly. Surged means moved suddenly. Now we can see the summary. Oh, here we are having some glossary. Slammed means bang. Slammed, bang. Muffled, muted. Muffled, muted. Avalanche means snow slide. Repercussions, unwelcome effect. Repercussions means unwelcome effects. Tremble or tremor, shake. Tremble or tremor, shake. Spell means magical situation. Spell, magical situation. Tumultuously means disruptively. Tumultuously, disruptively. Octopi, plural of octopus. Octopi, plural of octopus. Resilient, recover from difficult conditions. Resilient, recover from difficult conditions. Squinted, looked. Squinted means look. Solemn, serious. Solemn, serious. So this is the summary of the lesson, all summer in a day. So now you can see, all Summer in a Day is a science fiction that explores the theme of life on Venus. So this story is a science fiction that explores the theme of life on Venus. So how they are living on their life on Venus. Venus is a planet. This science fiction has been written by Ray Bradbury. So who is the author here? Ray Bradbury. The children in the classroom on the planet Venus are getting ready to see the sun that appears once in 7 years. So the children who are living in the planet Venus, they are now ready to see the sun because the sun appears once in 7 years. It has been raining for 7 years. So in the planet Venus, it has been raining for how many years? 7 years. There have been tidal waves over the islands. 1,000 forests were crushed under the rain and grown up 1,000 times to be crushed again. This is the way of life on the Venus. So this is the way of life on the Venus. So it has been raining for 7 years and the children are ready to see the sun that appears once in 7 years. 7 years ago, the sun came out for an hour. So before 7 years ago, the sun came out for an hour, only 1 hour. The children remembered a warmness like a flushing in the face. They read about the sun and wrote small stories and poems on it. So they read about the sun and they wrote small stories and poems based on sun. Margaret, she's a 9-year-old and she came from the earth. Margaret wrote a poem about the sun, but others did not like it. So Margaret is a girl. She wrote a poem about the sun, but other children didn't like it because they get jealous from they get jealous of Margaret because she came from Earth, so they didn't like her. They teased her, so they teased her. Margaret would play no games with them, so no one will play with her. The moment they sang about the sun, her lips moved. So when the children they sang about the sun, Margaret's lips moved. She had come to the Venus 5 years ago. So she had come to the Venus 5 years ago. She remembered the way the sun was when she was 4 in OU USA. So when she was USA in 4 years old, she remembered the sun. Once a month ago, she had refused to shower in the school shower rooms. She screamed that the water must not touch her. There was a talk that her parents would take her back to the earth next year. So the children hated her for all these reasons. That day, they locked her in a room. So what happened? Once a month ago, she had refused to shower in the school shower rooms. She screamed. So she was very afraid that the water must not touch her. So there was a talk that her parents would take her back to the earth next day. So she didn't like to live on the planet Venus. So their parents would told that they would take her back to the earth next year. So the children hated her for all these reasons. So this was the reason the children hated Margaret. So what did they do? That day they lock her in a room. So they lock Margaret in a room. They go back to the class when the teacher arrives. So when the teacher arrives, they go back to the class. They are wonderstruck to see the sun coming out. So they are very eager to see the sun. It is the color of the flaming bronze. So how was the sun? It is the color of the flaming bronze. The children rush out of the classroom. So the children they rush out of the classroom to see the sun, turning their faces up to the sky. So now they are turning their face up to the sky to see the sun. They feel the sun on the cheeks like a warm iron. So they feel because they are living in a rainy, so they feel the sun on their cheeks like a warm iron. They run among the trees, push each other, and play hide and seek. So now they are enjoying by seeing the sun how that they push each other and play hide and seek. In the midst of the running, one of the girl wails. She holds out the hand with the raindrop. The sun having faded, a few cold drops fall on their faces. So what happened? Now the sun have faded and a few cold drops fall on their faces. The smiles vanish away as they return to the classroom. So when they return to the classroom, their smile vanishes because the sun have faded. At once, one of the girls remembers Margaret and shouts for her. So one of the girls, she remembered that Margaret was closed in a that she was locked her in a room. So she shouts for her. They walk over to the closet door slowly. So they walk over to the closet door slowly. They unlock the door and let Margaret out. So they open the door and Margaret out. So this is the story. Once again, I'll read the summary. All Summer in a Day is a science fiction that explores the theme of life on Venus. This science fiction has been written by Ray Bradbury. The children in the classroom on the planet Venus are getting ready to see the sun that appears once in 7 years. It has been raining for 7 years. There have been tidal waves over the islands. 1,000 forests were crushed under the rain and grown up 1,000 times to be crushed again. This is the way of life on the Venus. 7 years ago, the sun came out for an hour. The children remembered a warmness like a flushing in the face. They read about the sun and wrote small stories and poems on it. Margaret wrote a poem about the sun, but others did not like it. They teased her. Margaret would play no games with them. The moment they sang about the sun, her lips moved. She had come to the Venus 5 years ago. She remembered the way the sun was when she was four in USA. Once a month ago, she had refused to shower in the school shower rooms. She screamed that the water must not touch her. There was a talk that her parents would take her back to the earth next year. So the children hated her for all these reasons. That day, they lock her in a room. They go back to the class when the teacher arrives. They are wonderstruck to see the sun coming out. It is the color of the flaming bronze. The children rush out of the classroom, turning their faces up to the sky. They feel the sun on the cheeks like a warm iron. They run among the trees, push each other, and play hide and seek. In the midst of the running, one of the girls wails. She holds out the hand with the raindrop. The sun having faded, a few cold drops fall on their faces. The smiles vanish away as they return to the classroom. At once, one of the girls remembers Margaret and shouts for her. They walk over to the closet door slowly. They unlock the door and let Margaret out. So, students, what is the conclusion here? Sometimes silence is the best way to let someone know their mistake. So, what is the conclusion? Sometimes silence is the best way to let someone know their mistake. So I hope you would have all understood the lesson, students. So thank you, students. Have a great day.